All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go to Smitter and then John Shipley.
Hey Jay, how can James Robinson be of an even greater help to you on Sunday with a rookie back there, both with his pass blocking, his ability to catch the ball, plus just able to run the ball and take a little pressure off the guy?
Yeah, that'll be key. Like it is in every game, we want to stay balanced. Have the ability to work different type of protections and play action passes and all that stuff. But those are only good on first, second down. You get to 3rd and 8, or you get behind a lot. You're one dimensional. So that's going to be critical. James is going to be a big part of our game plan for sure, and we got to get him going.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Smitter. Let's go to John Shipley and then Mark Long.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. What can you guys as a coaching staff do to kind of make things easier for Jake as he, gets his feet wet in his first NFL start?
Well, unfortunately, it's not going to be easy, for a rookie first game. He had to take a lot of reps with the first team. In fact, I don't think he's called one of our plays in the huddle since training camp. So it will not be easy for him. It's his job to be prepared mentally, make sure he goes through the right progressions, handles himself in protections, gets the ball deep to James Robinson when he hands it off, and does things right, what he's been taught this whole process. So it's going to be a great challenge for him, but we feel good about his demeanor, his work ethic. We feel like he's mentally prepared, but now we just have to wait and see. But we'll do the best we can to make it as easy as possible for him.
Thanks, Coach.
But it never is.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Shipley. Let's go over to Mark Long and then John Reed.
Hey, Jay, obviously handing off is the easy part, or should be the easy part, but what do you like about this kid throwing the ball?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to like, just what we've seen over the course of the last 3-4 months. He's got a great arm. He's got the ability to put touch on the ball. He can stroke it now, that's for sure. So we're excited to see him throw the ball down the field. I think he has great vision, too. He's tall. He's 6'6". I think he'll be able to get off his first progression, be able to work his eyes and find the next, second, hopefully third guy if we have protection. But from arm talent, he's impressive. Like I said, he can throw the deep ball, the intermediate stuff. He's going to throw with touch. But on game day with J.J. Watt and Marcellus and these guys chasing after him, we'll see if that has any impact on his motion.
How do you get a young guy like that to be aware of the clock, the 3-second clock?
Well, that's just part of his job. That's quarterback 101. That's one of my pet peeves, my first pet peeve. You talk about fundamentals and all that stuff and ball handling and all that stuff. Delay games, you don't ever get the playoff. So he's got to be mindful of the clock. And I got to be able to get the play in quick so he can get in and out of the huddle. But that's the quarterback's number one job. You can't run a play if you can't get the play off.
I'm sorry. I meant the 3-second clock in his head, getting rid of the ball.
Yeah, that's something you try to prepare for. You try to get these guys ready. But when the live rush is coming and people are in your throwing lane and you have to move subtly and work your eyes to your next, that's something that we'll have to wait and see. But I think he's been schooled pretty well so far. Has a general idea of what to expect and what to do with each play, each progression, whether it's a pure progression read, whether it's a middle field open close read, whatever it might be. He'll say all the right things. Now it's just a matter of seeing if he can do all the right things.
Thank you, Mark. Let's go John Reed, Cassidy, and then Gene.
No problem. How you doing, Coach? What is the most difficult aspect of that you got to rely on Luton, who hadn't had a snap, and do you have to simplify things on offense to make?
I think there's some to that. Yeah, I think you're probably a little bit limited, but we've had Gardner. It's his first year in this offense too. It's not like we're doing a whole lot of crazy stuff with them. We're trying to, as we go forward, as we move on throughout the season, we have to add different things and different concepts depending on who we play, handle different blitz looks and all that stuff. And he's got to handle protection. So each and every week gives you a different type of game plan. And they have to be aware. We have to adjust and we have to move on. We can't run the same 12 plays like you might be able to do in college week in and week out. We have to change our progressions, change our reads, change our personnel groups, change our formations. And that's part of the game. You got to study it, and that's what quarterbacks have to do.
Yeah. Quick follow-up. Have you ever been in a situation going into week 9 where you had to start a new quarterback during that week?
Unfortunately, yes. In fact, we came down here and played with Josh Johnson. We got him on a Thursday. I think he played on Sunday. We ended up winning that game or something like that. Yeah, so we've had that opportunity. It's never fun. Obviously, the teams with the great records are pretty stable at that position, and that's what you want to do and grow to. But the good thing is, if there's a positive, we get to look at a young quarterback with a lot of talent, and that's what we see in Jake. And the only way you're going to see and find out is if you throw him out there and let him play. So let's let him play and see how he handles the adversity, see how he handles the negative plays as well as the positive plays, and let's see him throw the ball.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Let's go to Cassidy and then Gene.
Hey, Coach, how have you seen Jake kind of progress just in practice this week, going from being, inactive the first few weeks to all of a sudden taking a lot of the first team reps?
Yeah, we only had the one practice on Monday, and it was, about 16 to 20 plays. It was the first time he got a chance to call our plays in the huddle since training camp. So I was kind of excited to see that he didn't mess any of them up. You could tell he was a little nervous, a little excited, overexcited, but that's natural. Now I'm hoping Wednesday he's got a little bit of the plan right now. Hopefully he calms down a little bit. Tomorrow we'll get him some third downs. Fridays we'll get him some red zone. Saturday we'll tie up the loose ends and let him go out there and play. But his demeanor has always been outstanding. He's been a very smart, very poised individual. How that happens, how that translates on game day will be the key to his success. Can he keep that poise in a game type situation with people coming at him?
And then kind of following up to that, can such a young guy, especially in his first game, it almost be a little bit of a positive that they don't know what they don't know? Like he doesn't know what it's going to feel like if J.J. Watt hits him, so he just stands in there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he won't get hit, but I'm sure he'll get hit eventually, and that's just part of the position. But you never really can prepare for that. You can't prepare for that in practice. You can't have a quarterback stand there and have a defensive end hit him in the face in practice as you deliver the football. That's something quarterbacks have had to acquire that taste over their course of playing in high school and college football. And he's been hit before, so I know he can handle it. He got hit in college. He'll get hit again. But, we just hope he can bounce back and continue to stay the course and never let one play affect the next play and assume he's going to get hit all the time. That's where quarterbacks have trouble. They get the nervous feet and all that stuff. But I feel like Jake has the poise. We feel like he has the confidence and the knowledge of the offense to have some success. We'll see.
Thanks.
Thanks, Cassidy. Let's do 3 final questions. Let's go Gene, Mark, and then we'll finish with John Shipley.
Hey, Jay. Listen, you've talked pretty glowingly of Jake's arm talent and how he can really stroke it and all this thing. And here's a guy who had a 28-2 touchdown interception ratio at Oregon State. What do you make of the fact that this guy lasted until the 6th round of the NFL draft? If he's got all the measurables and he's got the arm talent and has the numbers, what do you make of him lasting that long?
That's a great question. I think a lot has to do with, I think there's a lot more put into the value of athletic quarterbacks, because coaches know that it's hard to call the perfect drop back all the time. You want to have somebody that can escape and do things with their legs. Unfortunately, Jake didn't have the best 40 time or the short shuttle or didn't look overly athletic at the combine or what have you. But he can't throw it. There's no arguing that. And there's been other quarterbacks before him that have not been very athletic and throw it, have had no success. There's been obviously quarterbacks in the NFL that aren't very athletic that have had all kinds of success. So it's just your pick, your flavor, whatever you like. Some coaches want to err on the side of being having an athletic quarterback. We're fortunate enough to get him in the 6th round, and we like what we've seen so far. But obviously, mobility issue. You don't have to be a speed demon to be successful in the NFL. I think Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and some of these great quarterbacks have shown that. But you do have to have the ability to be able to move subtly in the pocket and have some pocket presence. And we're hoping that on game day he will display that. If he does, he can be a heck of a quarterback in this league.
Yeah, you touched a little bit on my follow-up. You talked about the subtlety of moving in the pocket. Is that really the technique that a quarterback, particularly with his skill set, has to learn above anything else to really, evolve and improve?
Oh, for sure. The great thing about him is he's got great height and he can see, so he can maneuver in the pocket and still keep his eyes down the field and be able to maybe see his second or third receivers where that could be a problem for a shorter type quarterback. So hoping that the height, his ability to step up, he's got good feet. We've worked a lot of drills, fundamental drills. He's got good, quick feet. He's got great posture. So hopefully that'll translate, but we'll see. You never know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gene. Let's go two more. Let's go Mark and then John Shipley.
Yeah, Jay, Doug was fired up last week about challenging you guys to get outside the box and do some crazy stuff with the bye week. How much of that got flushed down the toilet when you have to change quarterbacks, or are we going to see some things here that are going to be a little bit different moving forward?
You know, that's always the toughest thing for me as an offensive coach. You know, you want to make sure the coach signs off on some crazy stuff you want to try, you know, like the quarterback, the halfback pass I tried against Texas the first time and didn't work. And you just feel like a basket case afterwards for a week. So it kind of dampens your spirit as to put more stuff in. But, you know, you want to try to get your players out there, give them success on things that they know and can do. Obviously, we'll always have some kind of trick or some kind of diversionary type play in our playbook, whether it gets called or not, we'll never know. But you always want to have something to try to create the big play, but you don't want to panic and have to rely on that. You want these guys to make plays, let the linemen move people on the front, let James Robinson hit the holes. Let's punish them a little bit. Let our receivers get open to man-to-man and the quarterback read zones and make some plays. And then if the time's right and Coach Marone's up for it, we'll try a sprinkle or two in.
Thanks, Mark. And let's finish with Shipley.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, you know, Gardner's been dealing with his thumb injury for a little bit. Does now knowing that he has had that injury, does that kind of change how you kind of view his last couple of starts just in terms of your evaluation of him?
No, I think I think he's played solid. You know, for a young quarterback, he's had some great plays. He's had some tough plays, some plays he'd want to have back. Some we probably graded him a little bit lower than he thought. You know, his thumb injury, we didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it until after this game. So I didn't feel like it had an impact, but you'll have to ask him how he felt throwing the football. I think after he got it x-rayed, I think probably towards the end of the last game, it might have had some problems. That's why he got it checked, I guess. But overall, you know, the injury happens. But if you have a hurt thumb, I played quarterback before. I don't imagine I would imagine it would affect the ball. So yes, I would take that into account, I guess, if that's your question.
Yeah, it was. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see everybody at 2:45 with Jake Luton and then 4 p.m. with James Robinson.